Hi there, little friends. I'm Melissa. Today, we're going to visit a very special house in the woods. It belongs to three bears, and a little girl named Goldilocks is about to discover it. Are you ready for our 8-minute whimsical adventure? Let's go. Deep in a forest where the trees were soft and green lived three bears in a very cozy little house. There was a great big papa bear, a medium-sized mama bear, and a tiny little baby bear. One bright morning, Mama Bear made some yummy porridge for breakfast. She poured it into a great big bowl, a medium-sized bowl, and a tiny little bowl. But the porridge was too hot to eat. "Let's go for a walk while our porridge cools down," said Papa Bear in his big, deep voice. Mama Bear and Baby Bear agreed, and they set off into the sunny woods together. Not long after, a little girl named Goldilocks came walking through the forest. When she saw the cute little house, she wondered who lived there. She knocked on the door, but no one answered. The door wasn't locked, so Goldilocks carefully peeked inside. "Hello? Is anyone home?" she whispered. It was so quiet and smelled like cinnamon and honey. She couldn't help but go in. The first thing she saw was the breakfast table. The porridge smelled so good, Goldilocks' tummy gave a little growl. "I'll just try a tiny bit," she thought. First, she tasted the porridge from the great big bowl. "Ouch! This is way too hot!" she cried. She put down the spoon and looked at the next bowl. Next, she tried the porridge from the medium-sized bowl. "Brr, this is too cold," she said with a little shiver. She moved on to the smallest bowl. Then she tasted the porridge from the tiny little bowl. This is just right," she cheered. It was so delicious that she ate it all up until the bowl was empty. Goldilocks felt a little tired after her breakfast. She saw 3 chairs by the fireplace. "I'll just sit down for a minute," she said. She walked over to the great big chair. She sat in the great big chair, but it was much too hard. "This isn't comfy at all," she grumbled. So she hopped down and tried the medium-sized chair. The medium-sized chair was very soft. "Oh no, this is too soft, I'm sinking!" Goldilocks laughed. She climbed out and went to the tiny little chair. She sat in the tiny little chair. "This is just right!" she sighed happily. But suddenly, crack! The chair broke into pieces and Goldilocks fell right onto the floor. "Oh dear!" she cried. Goldilocks was still very sleepy. She found a ladder leading to a loft. "Maybe there's a place to nap up here," she yawned. She climbed up and found 3 cozy beds. She lay down on the great big bed, but it was too hard for her. "This feels like a rock," she said. She rolled over to the medium-sized bed. The medium-sized bed was too soft. "I can't even move!" she giggled sleepily. Finally, she lay down on the tiny little bed at the end of the row. "This bed is just right," she whispered. She pulled the tiny quilt up to her chin and closed her eyes. In no time at all, Goldilocks was fast asleep, dreaming of golden butterflies. Just then, the 3 bears came home from their walk. They were very hungry and ready for their breakfast. But as soon as they walked into the kitchen, they knew something was different. "Someone has been eating my porridge," growled Papa Bear in his big voice. "Someone has been eating my porridge too," said Mama Bear. "Someone ate mine all up," cried Baby Bear. The bears went into the living room. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," growled Papa Bear. "Someone has been sitting in my chair too," said Mama Bear. "Someone sat in mine and broke it," sobbed Baby Bear. The bears decided to look upstairs. They walked very quietly on their tiptoes. "We must see if someone is still in our house," Papa Bear whispered. They reached the bedroom. "Someone has been lying in my bed," growled Papa Bear. "Someone has been lying in my bed too," said Mama Bear. "Someone is sleeping in my bed right now," whispered Baby Bear. Just then, Goldilocks woke up. When she saw the 3 bears looking at her, she jumped out of bed. "Oh my!" she cried. She didn't know what to do. "I'm so sorry I ate your porridge and broke your chair," Goldilocks said softly. "I was just so hungry and tired." Baby Bear looked at her and saw she was truly sorry. "It's okay," he said. "We can fix the chair together," said Mama Bear. And that's exactly what they did. Working as a team, the chair was soon as good as new. Goldilocks learned that helping is better than breaking. Mama Bear made another pot of porridge, and this time there was enough for everyone. They sat and talked about their adventures in the forest. Goldilocks had made 3 new friends. When it was time to go, Goldilocks promised to always ask before entering a house. "Thank you for being so kind," she said. The bears waved until she was out of sight. Kindness truly makes the world better. Back in the village, Goldilocks found her sister Lily and told her all about the three bears. They hugged tightly, glad to be together again. Goldilocks was happy to be home in her own bed. The forest grew quiet as the stars came out. The three bears were tucked in their beds, and so were Goldilocks and Lily. Everyone was safe and warm, dreaming of a wonderful tomorrow. And so our story ends, with a heart full of friendship and a head full of dreams. Always remember to be kind and respectful to others. Good night, little dreamers. Sleep well. What a sweet adventure with Goldilocks and the three bears. I hope you enjoyed our 8-minute whimsical journey today. Have the most wonderful dreams, and I'll see you next time for another story. Goodbye, friends!